All right, so we are going to start section 5 of Crash Zone. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go to our game layout. And what we want to do is you'll notice that when we put our background on here, like our text is completely covered up. So we want to get that back. So we're going to make a HUD layer. So we're going to go to our layer window in the bottom right. We're going to right click and we're going to add a layer to the top. And this layer is going to be HUD. And then you want to make sure that that layer is transparent. It should be by default, so you should be good to go there, right? Then what we're going to do is we're going to select our text objects and we are going to get them repositioned. So I'm going to click on the text health black here. And what I'm going to do is in the properties on the left. So I'm just going to select it from the right side here since it's buried underneath stuff. And I'm just going to change the layer to HUD, which should bring it right up to the front. And then we're going to change the position of it to 50-30. We'll see if this looks good or not. This is what they're telling me to put. But you can pretty much drag it everywhere. All right, so car black is going to be way over there. And then we'll want to do the same thing for car white. Obviously, we got to change the text too so it's more visible. So what I would do is I would go in here. You can change the font if you want to. I'm going to make mine just a little bit bigger, and I'm going to make it like something I can see. So I'm going to do like white. I feel like white's going to be a lot. Yeah, white's way more visible here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the white. So we're going to take the white and we are going to put that on the HUD. Okay, we're going to do that. And then I just want to double check here. I got a position for white. So 1025 by 30 is where they want the white. So let's go ahead and do 1025, 30. Yep, over there. Then once again, I'm just going to increase the size and change the color a little bit. So I'm just going to up that a little bit. I don't remember what size I did my other one. Probably like 28 or something. We'll make it white. Once again, you can kind of go with whatever size and color you want. And then since I made mine a little bit bigger, I'm just going to shift it over just a smidge here. Okay, but once again, I'm not going to grade you on if that exact position is there. Just get it like basically one in the upper left corner, one in the upper right corner. You can just kind of manually put it in there. Not a big deal. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to add a health bar. Okay. So we are going to make a new sprite and it is going to be on the HUD layer. And so I'm going to make a sprite and then this one's going to be the black health bar. Black health bar. Okay. Insert, click on screen. There should be an image to load for this. Let's just double check here. So I need to go into Crash Zone. There we go. And let's see, do I have a health bar? I do not. So maybe, oh, we just make a, okay, it's just a solid color. So there actually isn't a sprite for this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to resize it. So we're going to do 250 for the width, but the height's only going to be like 20. And then we'll just, you can paint bucket in whatever color you want. So I'll just do like a bright green or something pretty obnoxious. And then you do want the origin to be on the far left so the health bar goes down properly. So I'm going to click and I'm going to right click and I'm going to quick assign to the left. So we have the origin on the far left there. All right. So this is going to be my black health bar. So I basically want to position it, you know, like right above or right below. I'm going to do it right above. I think that's a pretty good spot right there. So that's what I'm going to do there. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing for the white one. Okay. What we can do is rather than make a new sprite, let's just duplicate this one. So if I go to my black health bar on the right, I can right click it and just clone it. And then instead of black health bar 2, we're going to just rename it white health bar. Okay. And then if you want to, you can keep it the same color or you can make it a different color. That's totally up to you. So now my white health bar, you can just drag that onto the screen and you're basically good to go. So I'll just leave mine both green, but if you want to make them different colors, feel free to do that. You could even do something too where like this maybe has like a black outline on it. So you can tell us for the black card, this is maybe like white. So it's like for the white health. So you could do that too if you wanted to. Actually, I kind of want to do that. Let's do this. Let's just because this is the black car's health, I'm going to make it black. It maybe won't be like the most. Yeah, it's still visible, right? So as long as it's visible, well, actually, no, it won't be. Never mind. No, let's not do that. Because I forgot this gray wall here is invisible. Um, and then depending on what's underneath it, I guess. Let's see. What's underneath it? Would black show up on it? Oh, that's right. Mine doesn't like to run when I'm recording. That's fine. You just pick whatever color. But if it works, you could make that black. You could make that white. Then it would maybe make a little bit more sense. But we basically got that in, so that's pretty easy to go. So we're just going to do that. We're going to go to the next slide here. All right. Oh, that's right. So these are just the backgrounds, and then we actually add another one on top. All right, so now we're going to make a backing for this. All right, so we're going to make another sprite. This is probably unnecessary, but they have you do it, so we'll do it. So this one's going to be health bar back. So there's going to be like a background to it, basically. Health bar back. So we'll do that. Now I'm going to click on the screen. This one's going to be 250 by 20. So 250 by 20. So it's like basically the same size. And then you, once again, pick a color that's very contrasting or different. So we could do like blue. Blue's very different than green. That's what they want you to do. So we'll do that. So we'll do blue here. Okay. So then we got the health bar back. Okay. Oh, and we want the origin to be left also. So we got to do that also. So we got to take the origin, quick assign, left. Okay. So we can do that. All right. So we've got that part on there. Okay. And then basically we're just going to have another instance of it. So I'm going to have control and have two of them. And then basically I think we just want this so it sits right behind. Um, so what I think you would do is you would put it like basically right on top of your other ones. And you could set the exact same positioning if you wanted to, if you want to type in the numbers. I'm just going to try to manually drag them there. And then you can use the arrow keys to nudge it. That's what I'm going to do. So these are just purely visual. And then what you want to do is you want to do Z order and send these to the bottom of the layer so that they're behind. So Z order send to bottom. So basically the health bar back should just be underneath the green health bars here. And then what happens is as these health bars subtract, you'll kind of just see that blue come from underneath, right? So then what we're going to do is we are basically going to just make an every tick event that's going to set those to the health, which is pretty easy, right? So let's go to our ES game, and then we need an every tick. So what I'm going to do is I don't think I have an every tick on here right now. So, well, do we? Trying to remember if we made an every tick. I don't think we do. So I'll just make one. If you have two, it's not the big deal. So I'm going to go to my on start of layout, and I'm going to just add an event above it, and I'm just going to do system every tick. Okay. And then every tick, I'm just going to, for each of those health bars, I want to set the length to the proper car. So make sure you're picking the right health bar in the right car. So I'm going to add an action. And so we're going to do, oh, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. We should already have it for the text somewhere. Hold on. Let me just double check here. Is it in there? Is it in here? It's not. Okay, so I guess I don't have. Maybe we didn't do it yet. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, every tick you want to make sure if you haven't done this yet, if you already have it, that's fine. But we need to basically set the text to show the value, which I thought I already had in my game, but maybe I don't. So I'm just going to add an action for text health black. So if you already have this, you might just want to skip this. But then what I want to do is I want to set text. Set text. Yeah, for some reason I thought I already had this, but maybe not. And then we just want this to just be car black. This is for this. So we just want to get rid of the quotation marks and then just do car black dot health. Okay, so then that text will just show whatever numerical value the health is, right? And then we want to do the same thing for the white one. So text health white, we're going to do set text. Okay, and then we just want to set this to car white dot health. Okay, perfect. We have that on there. And it could be that you just the reason why I could be confused is maybe we take those off and we replace with the health bar, but I'll just have mine with both of them. Okay, so then no, they should both be on there because we kept the text on there. All right, so I'm going to add another action here, and I'm going to do for the black health bar, and I'm going to do set with, and then that is also going to be to car black dot health. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing for the white health bar. So I'm going to take white health bar, set with, and this is going to be for car white. White dot health. Okay, there we go. Okay, once again, I would love to run it and show you, but when I'm recording, my game doesn't like to show me stuff, so that's fine. I'm just going to click save here to make sure everything's getting saved up. But that should be good there. Okay, so we did that. We did that. We did that. Oh, you know what? Sorry, one little tweak here. So what it is the actual health. So if you guys remember, our health bar length is 250, right? But your health is 500. So the issue is this. So this length is 250, which is what we want. But since the actual health is 500, this is going to double in length and like go off the screen. So what we do is to make it fit how we want is we go back here, and when we set it to car black health, we actually want to do car black health divided by 2. So if the max health is 500, what's going to happen is the max health now is going to show us 250 because we're taking the max health divided by 2. So it's always going to be relative to that. So it's going to fit within the scope of what we've got. So let's add divided by 2 on both of these, and then we should be good to go there. Okay, we did that. We did that. Now we're going to add a global variable called game over. So I'm just going to right click down here, add a global variable called game over, and the default value will be 0. So we just got a global variable now called game over. Okay. And then basically when we're going to just use this to toggle when it's a game over. So 0 means we're playing, 1 means it's a game over. So we just have to go to where the game over would happen and toggle it to 1. So we have to go to where you take damage. So we're going to go down into here, right here. So we have like this car black is less than or equal to 0 where we set the frame. We're also going to set game over to 1. So system set value. We're going to set game over. Where is it? Game over to 1. Okay. And then I'm just going to copy this game over to 1. And we also want to do it on the car white's health is less than or equal to 0. Okay. So now we've got that part set up. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to add a new event. So I'm going to just put it outside of my groups for now. So I'm going to minimize my groups. And I think I'm just going to put it up here. So I might go on my onStart of layout, and I might just add an event below maybe. And we're going to do system, compare variable. We're going to say if game over equals 1 that we want something to happen. Okay, so we've got that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say if game over is 1, we're going to disable the car behavior on both cars to signal that the game has ended. So basically you lose control, right? So we're going to add an action for car black. I'm going to type in car for car behavior, and I'm going to go into set enabled, and I'm going to disable that. And then basically you want to do the same thing for car white. So car white, type in car behavior, go to set enabled, and disable it. Okay, so if game over is 1, we disable both car behaviors, which is good. Okay, and we also want to set their speed to 0 so that, because if you're mid movement when you hit game over, we don't want the car to keep sliding, right? So you have to add an action for both of them also to set their car speed to 0. So I'm going to type in car and then go to set speed. We're going to do 0. We're going to do that for car white as well. So car white, type in car behavior, go to set speed, set that into 0. The reason why I typed in car there instead of speed is because there's multiple different speeds. But if you type in car, then you know you're going to the right behavior. And then when you know you're in the behavior and you see speed, then you know it's the right one. A mistake a lot of people make is they would do like animation speed to 0 or something like that, right? So typing in the behavior first is a good way to avoid those mix-ups. All right, so we did that. Okay, so we're gonna skip to the next slide here. Okay, so we're gonna add a new sub event to this game over 1 to basically make it so we can reset the game. So I'm gonna add a sub event here to this game over 1. So I'm gonna add sub event. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do keyboard on key pressed. Okay, and we're gonna do spacebar. Done. Okay. Okay, so we got that. And then basically, it's really important that we reset the global variables, because otherwise what's going to happen is when you reset the game over will start at 1 and the cars won't be able to move, right? So we're going to do on space press, we're going to add an action for system, and we're going to do reset. Let's see, reset global variables. Okay, and then we want to go back to the start screen. So we're going to add an action, system, we're going to say go to layout, we're going to go back to the start screen. Okay, let's go ahead and click save and get another save in there. Might ask you to relog in, that's fine. Okay, so we got another save. Very, very good. Okay, next we're just going to add some text and sounds to the game, and then we're basically done, right? So we're going to go to our start layout, and we're going to add a text object here. So we're going to go ahead and add a text. And you know what? Hold on. I'm going to cancel out. Make sure you're on your main, not the background. So I'm going to click on main and then add the text. If you already added it in on the wrong layer, just go ahead and change it in the properties, right? This is going to be called text instructions. Okay, like that. Insert, click on screen. Okay, and we've got our text instructions there. So then what we're going to do is we're going to increase the font size and change the color to white. So they tell you to do font size 16. I might go a little bit bigger. I might go like 18. Let's do color white. Okay, so we've got that. So here's our white text right here. Okay, and they want you, they're very specific. They want you to do horizontal alignment center, vertical alignment center, or no, they want the hotspot to be center. Um, that this is fine. Like we can just, whatever. I think just horizontal alignment center is fine right there. Okay, then we've got that. Okay, and then we're going to insert another text object called text description. So we're going to go ahead and make another. What I might do is, since this one's already got the color, what I might do is I might take this text instructions and I might just clone it. So let's clone it. And then text instructions 2 will just be called text description. So I've got text description, and I want to take text description and put that on the screen. So now I have instructions and description. Okay. This one, they want it to be a little bit smaller font size. So sure, we'll bring this one down to like 4, because this is going to have a lot more text. We'll make that smaller. I'm going to leave it white. I am going to do horizontal alignment center, which already has preset, so we're good to go there. Okay, and then on the EX, or on the ES start, we're going to set what this text says, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the ES start event sheet, which is right here. Okay, and on start of layout, we are just going to add an action, and we're going to do the text instructions, which is right here. We're going to do set text. Set text, perfect. And they basically just want us to type in this big thing that tells us how to play the game. So what we could do is we are just going to say use WASD to move the black car. And then we're going to say use the arrow keys for the white car to move the white car. Okay, and then we end the quote there. And then what we want to do is outside of the quotation marks, we're going to do and then new line. Remember, new line just means it's going to enter down to the next line. So we want the next text to be entered down. And I'm going to do the and symbol again, and I'm going to start a new string of quotation marks here. And then I'm going to say use 1 and 2 to select a track. Okay, and then we're going to do another new line after that. So I have to go outside the quotation marks. I'm going to do and new line. And then I'm going to do and again, another set of quotation marks, and then we're going to say press space to begin. Press space to begin. All right, so we got all that stuff in there, okay? Now, what you'll have to do is when you actually watch this in game, you might have to like reposition this, but basically you want the description centered, and what you want to do is probably make this text box a little bit bigger so it all fits in there. So I'd make it pretty big and maybe center it over the 2 selection boxes like that. I think that would probably be good there. And then this text box here, we'll make this one a little bit bigger as well. And we'll kind of center that one between the 2 icons as well. So try to get that centered and a little bit bigger. But you can kind of drag, and just as you run the game, you'll figure out what works for specific sizes, right? Okay, so we've got that on there. Perfect. And we are on the ES start. That's awesome. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do another couple of actions. So there, we're actually going to just program it in to get it centered. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another action here for text instructions. And we are going to do set size. So a size. And what we want to do is we don't do set font size. We want to do the actual size of the text box here. And for the width, they want it to be layout width. So they're actually going to make the text box really huge. But because we have it on center, it guarantees it's going to be on the center of the layout, right? And then for that Y, they want it to be 120 for the height. So the width is layout width, and then the height is 120. Okay, so that's what we're going to do there. So set the size to that. And then we're going to set the position to 640 by 400. So we're going to do text instructions. set position, set position right here. And we're going to do 640 by 400. So let's do 640. Once again, this could all be done manually, just like in the properties, but we're just doing it on the ES start. So just showing you there's a couple ways we could do that, right? Okay, so we've got that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing for text description. So let's go to text description. And what we're going to do is we are going to do layout width and then 100. So we're going to do set size. We're going to do layout width again. Layout width. And then the height is going to be 100. So slightly different. Okay. And then what we're going to do is 640 by 625 for the position. So text description, set position. Okay, and this one's going to be 640 by 625. Now, if you run the game and this doesn't look right, I'm okay if you just take these events out and then just manually drag it where you want to. I won't take off points if these are missing, as long as the text looks fine, okay? But that's just how they're telling you to do it. All right. So now we have to set the text description because we haven't set that yet, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to, yes, add a new event for text description. Okay. And what this text is going to say is we're going to do set text. And then this one, we're going to go inside the quotation marks. It's going to say pavement will have higher speed and acceleration. Okay, and then I'm going to go outside and we're going to do a new line. So we're going to do and new line with an and symbol after it, and then another quotation mark, and then as well as better traction when turning. Okay, so we've got that. So we have the text saying that right now. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now this text is going to change depending on which surface we have selected. So what we're going to do is we are going to clone it to the on one pressed event. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and then we're going to actually put this down here, and we're going to change the text to say something different. And what we're going to do is we're going to have one of these be on number 2 pressed and one of these be on number 1 pressed. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put both of these down here, and I'm actually going to take it off of the on start of layout. Okay, and I'm going to go back to my game here, actually my start screen. So 1 is going to be for pavement, 2 is going to be for dirt. So what we're going to do is on the 1 pressed, this pavement text is correct. So then on 2 pressed, we're going to change this to do a different statement for the dirt. Okay, so what we're going to make this one say is we're going to say dirt will have lower speed and acceleration. So I'm going to change the word pavement to dirt. And I'm going to change the word higher to lower. Okay. And then I'm going to say less traction while turning. I'm going to change this from better to less. Okay. So it should look like you should have this pavement text on 1, the dirt text on 2. Okay. Next, what we have to do is import the sound in. So sound is going to kind of wrap stuff up here. So what we want to do is we want to go to, let me find the sound folder. You're going to right click it and do import sounds. Click import audio. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we are going to import, hold on, I'm on a, sorry. Yes, I just want to make sure. All right, so we're going to go into here. So we're going to go back into your assets folder. So Star Defender. And then what we should have, I'm going to change this to all files. Okay. Oh, do I not have, oh wait, I'm in Star Defender. No wonder why. Okay. Need to go back into Crash Zone, and then we should see a sound folder. There we go. And then we just want to add all these in. So we're just going to open, get those all imported in. Once again, I clicked on one and I held shift to click the last one. I'm going to click import here. There. So now I've got all my sounds imported in. And then we have to add the audio object to the game. So I'm going to right click on my object folder, add a new object, and we're going to add audio. So we need audio in the game. Perfect. We got that. Okay, so we've got that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the ES Start event sheet, And on ES start is we're going to get the background music playing. So we're just going to go, let me see, on start of layout, and we're going to add an action. And for audio, we're going to do stop all. So we're going to make it so it stops all audio right away when you start on the start screen, okay? So we're going to do that. And then we're going to add another action and tell it to play. So the reason why we do the stop all is so that it ends the audio from our last playthrough, and then we're going to start playing like the actual background music. So we're going to add an action for audio, and we're going to play. And we want to play the title, and we want it looping so that it keeps looping. And we can give it a tag of title. Sure, we'll tag that as title. Okay, so it's going to play the title at the beginning after stopping all the music. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we are going to, we did that. Yep. We're going to go to the ES game event sheet and tell those where to play. Okay. So we're going to go to on start of layout in the ES game. And then we're going to add an event to stop all sound again. So we're going to add an event for audio, and we're going to say stop all. Okay, so we're going to do that again. We are going to play the crowd music. So we're going to go audio, play. We're going to play the crowd. Okay, and the crowd one is going to be a volume of -10, so it's not quite so loud. And it should not be looping. Okay, and we're going to give it the tag of crowd. Okay, we're playing crowd at -10 with the tag crowd. Okay, and then we're going to add an event to play the crash sound, crash start sound. So we're going to add another one. So we're going to do audio, play, and we're going to play crash start. Just want to make sure I got this all right. Yep, crash start. This one's going to be not looping, and this one's going to be volume 0, and then it's going to be called start. Okay. Now I'm looking at their example. They are telling the crowd music to loop. I don't think that's right. Maybe it is. I'll put it on loop because that's what it's showing me. We'll see. If this seems off, just change it to not looping, but we'll put it on loop because that's what they're showing me, okay? So next what we're going to do is we're going to add a crash sound effect to the game when you get hit. So we have to go into the collision event group down here, okay? And we want to add a sub-event to the car black on collision with car white event, okay? So what we're going to do is we've got car black on collision with car white here, okay? And then we have the speed is greater than 75. So we're actually going to add a sub-event right here. So right onto this one, we're just going to right click and add a sub-event. And we're going to say if the absolute, so then we're going to do system, compare two values, and we're going to say that the absolute value, so ABS, of car white, so parentheses, and we're going to do car white dot car, I forgot the dot car dot speed is greater than or equal to 150. Whoops, forgot the parentheses here. Okay, like that, 150. So basically, like, what we're saying is we're saying that if we go, where did my event go? Oh, went way down here. Okay. So basically what we're saying, if we go way back, if I minimize this here, this will be a little bit easier to see. Well, I guess it's in there, but we're saying if the absolute value of the speed is greater than 75, we take damage. But then if we go down here, it's going to go way down at the bottom of everything. But now we're going to say if it's above 150, that's when we're actually going to play the crash sound effect. So it's not always going to play. It's only if you're going fast enough. So we're going to add an action for the audio. Oh, wait, we have to add a condition. Hold on. All right, so actually we have to add a condition to this first. So add another condition. We want to do audio, and we want to test if something is playing. So what we're going to do is we are going to do is tag playing and crash. Okay, we're going to type in crash like that. I'm doing mine all lowercase. Okay, and we want to invert it. So what we're doing is we're basically making it so it won't play the crash sound effect if it's already playing. So this is just saying that we can't trigger that multiple times like together. So then what we're going to do is we're going to add an action, audio, we're going to play, and we're going to play the crash sound effect. This is going to be not looping, and we're going to make sure the tag is typed in crash, all lowercase, to make sure that that matches up, okay? So then essentially what we want to do is we want to do this exact same thing for the other car, right? Yep, and I want to make sure I have that right. Oh, you know what? Okay, so this one here, I think we did put it in the wrong spot. So hold on. This should not be a sub event to that. It should be even with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it up. Okay, I'm going to drag it up, and I want it like up here. And so what I want to do is I want to minimize it, and they should be even with each other like this. This is what we want it to look like, is this right here. Okay, so instead of making it a sub event here, it actually should have been a sub event there. But that's okay. We got it fixed. You just grab it, drag it, make it so it looks like this, so that they're both together there. Okay, so we've got that there. And then basically what we're going to do is we are going to do this exact same thing and reverse it underneath the other one, right? Oh, you know what? So I actually put this in the wrong spot. So if you copied me, this should have been under car black, and I did it under car white, which is fine. So what I can do is I'm going to minimize this. Okay, so try to get yours to look like mine with these arrows minimized. We're going to take this one here, and we are just going to copy it up here, so that's right underneath this one. Now this is all correct here, okay, because this is, once again, car white speed 75. This should be car white 150. So that then the first one I made is actually just the one I'm going to edit. So now I'm going to replace this. So if I right click right here, if I do replace object, car white with car black, it should just replace it all for me. So yep, there's car black there, and we should be good. So just make sure that your car black 150 is even with your car black 75, and your car white 150 is even with your car white 75. Then we should be good on the crash sound effect, okay? All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that we actually disable the car behavior right away, because we basically, that start sound we made is going to be a countdown. So we want the cars to be frozen, finish the countdown, and then give you control back. So go to your on start of layout. We're on ES game still. I'm going to add an action and disable both car behaviors. So I'm going to do car black, type in car, set enabled, and we're going to disable that. And then we're also going to disable car white. So car white, type in car, set enabled, disable. Okay, so we're going to disable both of those right away. Okay, so we've got that. Let me just go back and make sure. And then we're going to add a new event for the audio that's going to say on ended. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to put that up here for now. So I'm just going to put that kind of up in the start group. I could make a new group for this and make it like a start group, but let's just add it up here. So I'm going to insert maybe below the on start. And we're going to do audio, and we're going to do on ended. And the tag is going to be start. And I believe I've been doing all my tags just full lowercase. So when I do that, if we go here, yep, see there, right there, my tag is start, all lowercase. So just make sure your tag matches this. And then on start ended, we're basically going to give control back, right? So we're going to, basically what I can do is I can take these two car disabled here, copy those down, and then I just want to change these to enabled. So I'm enabling the car behavior when that audio ends. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Okay. And then we're basically going to set the crowd volume to 0 so that it goes to normal. So it's basically going to start louder and then get a little bit quieter, or get quieter and then get loud. It's going to start quiet and then get louder. So we're going to add an action for audio. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do set volume of crowd. Remember, we started it at -10. Now we're going to put it back to 0, which is just going to be normal. Okay. So we've got that in. Now we're going to go to the game layout. And we're going to add a text name game over. So I'm going to search here, text. We're going to call it game over. Insert, click on screen, put it on here. Okay. In the properties, we're going to set it to the HUD layer, which it's already on in my example. We're going to set the position to 640 by 300. Okay. And then we are going to set the size to 1200. 1200 comma 150. Okay, so that's just the size of the text box. Then we're going to change the font size to 48 here. So we're going to go down here. Going to go 48. And then we're going to do white for the color. Once again, you can play around with this. I don't care if it's exactly that or not. You can decide. And then we're going to do horizontal alignment to center. So we're going to do horizontal alignment to center. Okay. And then hotspot to center, which I don't see hotspot on here. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Now, the positioning of mine looks way off. So I don't know if their numbers are off. I'm just going to basically just put it right in the center. Just do that. Put it right there because the numbers they're giving me didn't seem to line up right, but that's fine. Now we're going to go back to the ES game. And on ES game, we're going to go to the on start here, and we just need to set that text to be invisible. So that should be right here. So add action for the game over text. And we're going to set visible and turn that to invisible at start. Now you could just do this in the properties as well. You wouldn't have to do it on start, but this is fine because then if we restart the game, we do want it to go invisible right away. And then we're going to go down to the sprite health levels group. We're almost done. Okay. We are going to add an action for if car black health is less than or equal to 0 right here. And then we are going to set the text to say game over. So we're going to add an action for the game over text. We're going to do set text. And it is going to say game over, car white wins. Okay, so something like that. So game over, car white wins, because this is going to be like, yeah, something like that. So we'll just do something like this, and then what we'll do is we'll add a new line. So we'll do and new line. Okay, and then we'll do another and then we'll say in quotation marks, we'll just say press space to play again. Press space to play again, like that. Okay, and we'll click done. So obviously, if this is going to be car white wins, that's when the car black's health is 0. We want to copy this to when car white's health is lower than 0. And then we're going to change this to car black wins so that the text makes sense. So we're going to change that to car black. Easy peasy, lemon breezy. We got it in there. We did that. Okay. And next we're going to go and we're going to just make an event that text to set game over to visible, right? So what we want to do is we want to add an action here. We want to do game over text, and we need to set it visible in this instance also. So set visible, visible. And then you want to make sure you're setting it visible on both of them. So that looks like that. Perfect. Okay. Oh, sorry, my bad. Not there. Delete those. We want to go to the event that just says if game over is won. So you want to go to this event up here. This here, you can just set the text visible there. So do game over, set visible. Sorry, I was putting it in the wrong spot. It probably would have worked there too, but yeah, we'll just put it there. Because yeah, if game over is won, we set it visible. And then what happens is it's going to reset variables. We restart the game and it's going to go invisible because we put that on start of layout. Okay. And then we're just going to go through here. And I think, guys, that is it. So if you've done it properly, your Crash Zone game should be working. The sound, the game over, all that stuff. Make sure you play test. Once again, I can't actually run mine because it doesn't like to do it while I'm recording. So, yeah, just let me know if you guys need any help, but that should be it. And then make sure you do the additional exercises at the end. I'll actually name them off here in the video. So the additional exercises are to one is to make it so that your sprite health levels, so that you start showing damage at 425 instead of 375. And then another one is to make it so you have to change the speed on the dirt and the pavement to different numbers. So those are listed on Google Classroom to find those numbers. And then the kind of the trickier additional exercise is to add like a boost system to your game where you hold down a key, your car goes faster, let down a key, and the car slows down. Okay, so there you go, guys. There's section 5.